Stop thinking that you are the peak of sophistication on this planet just because you can make TikTok videos with AI filters. Logically, humans are actually a highly pampered standard product. A little radiation and you mutate. 2 days without water and you shut down. Fall from the second floor and your bones suffer a permanent error. We live inside a very fragile hardware full of rigid system limitations. However, behind the bushes, in the depths of the dark ocean, or even in the moss in your backyard, the universe is running a developer mode version of biological software. There are creatures that don't care about the laws of physics you learned in school. They have abilities so extreme that scientists can often only scratch their heads and say, "This makes no sense." Today, we will dissect 8 animals with godlike abilities. We will see how evolution performs system hacks to create creatures capable of surviving in conditions where even hell would give up. Prepare your observation logic. Let's break them down one by one. Tardigrade, the deep freeze protocol. We start with an animal smaller than a speck of dust, but with a durability stronger than a nuclear bunker, the tardigrade or water bear. The logic is cryptobiosis, or the total suspension of metabolic activity. Your POV now, you take this tardigrade into the vacuum of outer space where there is no oxygen, douse it with a lethal radiation dose 1,000 times stronger than what would kill a human, and then squeeze it in the pressure of the deepest ocean floor. The result? The tardigrade would simply ask, "Is that all?" They can live without water for 30 years by replacing the water in their cells with glass proteins. The tardigrade is proof that death is merely a delayable option if you possess the correct defense source code. Turritopsis Dohrnii, the reset to factory settings protocol. If the tardigrade is merely resilient, the Turritopsis Dohrnii jellyfish has a much more deceptive ability. It cannot die of old age. Once it feels sick, stressed, or becomes too old, it undergoes transdifferentiation. The logic is a reset to factory settings. It transforms its adult cells back into young cells, then returns to being a polyp, a baby jellyfish, and starts its life from zero again. Your POV, you're 80 years old, feeling tired, and then suddenly you turn back into a baby and start school all over again. This jellyfish can perform this cycle forever. From a biological logic, they are immortal beings. They challenge our chronological logic regarding a lifespan that must have an end. For the Turritopsis, death is a bug they successfully patched millions of years ago. Axolotl, the auto repair protocol. Jumping to Mexico, we have the axolotl, a salamander that always seems to smile, but possesses the most ruthless regeneration ability in the world. If you lose a finger, you become disabled. If an axolotl loses a leg, tail, heart, or even part of its brain, it only needs a few weeks to regrow them without any scar tissue. The logic is stem cell reactivation. The cells at its wound transform back into stem cells that can become anything. Your POV, you have a headache from an exam, so you discard the part of your brain that hurts and grow a fresh new brain. The axolotl is proof that biological hardware can actually be repaired automatically, as long as you have access to these cellular assembly instructions. They are the organic version of hot swap parts that make human medical science look like the Stone Age. Lyrebird, the audio recording protocol. This bird from Australia, the lyrebird, is the most talented DJ in the universe. Its logic isn't about physical survival, but acoustic hacking. It possesses a vocal box so complex that it can mimic any sound with 100% accuracy. Your POV, you're in the middle of a forest and you hear the sound of a chainsaw, a camera clicking, a car alarm, or even a human baby crying. You run in fear thinking there are humans there, but it's just a bird showing off audio samples to attract the mate. The lyrebird dictates our logic that vocal identity can be totally manipulated. In the world of the lyrebird, reality is whatever they can record and play back. Mantis Shrimp, the hardware acceleration protocol. Never underestimate this little colorful shrimp, the Mantis Shrimp. It possesses 2 fists that can fire at the speed of a .22 caliber bullet. The logic is energy storage. As it punches, the surrounding water boils instantly due to incredible pressure, creating flashes of light and heat approaching the temperature of the sun's surface. Cavitation. Your POV, you try to catch this shrimp for sushi, and in 0.001 seconds, your hand is shattered or your glass aquarium is smashed to pieces. Their punch is so fast that the prey's nerves don't even have time to send a pain signal. The mantis shrimp is proof that even underwater, you can have acceleration that exceeds the logic of fluid mechanics. Platypus, the external sensor array protocol. Visually, the platypus looks like a failed project handled by a committee that never met. A duck's bill, a beaver's tail, it lays eggs but nurses its young, and it has venomous spurs. But its godly power lies in its bill, electroreception. The logic is an electric field sensor. The platypus can search for prey in dark mud without seeing, smelling, or hearing. Its bill detects tiny electrical impulses generated by the muscle contractions of its prey. Your POV, you're hiding in silence in total darkness, making no sound. Yet the platypus knows you're there simply because your heart is beating. This is military radar logic installed in a creature that looks ridiculous. The platypus dictates our logic that appearances can be deceiving, but electrical sensors never lie. Wood frog, the hibernate mode protocol. In Alaska, there is the wood frog, which has a unique way of facing winter. It lets itself freeze into ice. Literally. Its heart stops, its breath vanishes, and 60% of its body fluid becomes solid ice. It is clinically dead for months. The logic is the cryoprotectant protocol. It pumps massive amounts of glucose into its cells so they don't shatter when the water freezes. Your POV, winter arrives, you enter the freezer, become an ice cube, and when spring comes, you thaw out and immediately walk away to find breakfast as if nothing happened. The wood frog is proof that the systems of death and life are just a matter of chemical switches. They are walking ice boxes that laugh at the human concept of being cold. Mimicking octopus, the dynamic rendering protocol. Finally, we have the ocean's best secret agent, the mimicking octopus. Unlike a chameleon that only changes color, this octopus can change its body shape, texture, and behavior to imitate other animals. The logic is morphological camouflage. It can transform into a sea snake, a lionfish, or a jellyfish in a matter of seconds. Your POV, you're chasing an octopus, and suddenly in front of you is a venomous sea snake ready to strike. You run away, yet it was just the octopus in disguise. The mimicking octopus dictates our logic that physical form is fluid. They are masters of real-time rendering using their skin and muscles as a monitor to deceive predators. In their world, whoever is the best liar lives the longest. So, what is the common thread of these 8 animals with godlike abilities? Logically, the universe is a laboratory that knows no boundaries. Evolution isn't just about the strong eating the weak. Evolution is a highly wild R&D process. Tardigrades and wood frogs test the limits of matter's endurance. Axolotls and Turritopsis test the limits of time and repair. Mantis shrimps and platypuses test the limits of sensors and physical power. Lyrebirds and mimicking octopuses test the limits of perception and information. These powers are proof that normal is just a standard we created ourselves. Out there, trillions of lines of biological code are working to surpass what we consider possible. We often feel great with our technology when we are actually struggling to mimic software that nature has run far more efficiently for billions of years. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they are explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.